Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Dr. Phenomenon LEP Frequency Toolbox program, where you will learn how to work with energy to create the life that you want to face. I'm Dr. Phenomena, your host, and today we are going to add another addition to your already existing LEP Frequency Toolbox, Lived Experience Phenomena Toolbox, by adding the dedication consciousness. The dedication consciousness it's a moderate energy. It is where you have complete control over your thoughts, images, and feelings. The dedication consciousness is one step above the lack and survival challenges of life. So if you have missed the lack and survival segment or any of the other segments, please go back and review all of the segments. The LEP Frequency Toolbox show program is especially built and created to build with one segment building on top of the other, so that you get all of the information as to how to use the LEP Frequency Tool to work with energy to change the future that you want to either change your future or create the future that you want to face, or to live a brand new existence, a brand new life. So if you have not done so, please go back and check all of the segments, or you please purchase the book to www.lepeducation.com. Only Good Comes to Me by Dr. Anna Harvey for specific instructions on how to use the LEP frequency tool to create the life that you wish to have. And how to work with energy to truly live a life of bliss, because it can be accomplished in this lifetime. So please catch up and buy the book. Catch me on YouTube or the podcast shows. And now we are going to continue with dedication consciousness and how to identify if you are, in fact, vibrating in the dedication consciousness by assessing your mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual consciousness frequencies to see if you are vibrating in low, average, mid-range, high, or peak frequencies. Okay, so in the dedication consciousness, you will find moderate energies, and the dedication consciousness is all about controlling thoughts, images, and feelings, because thoughts transform to images, images activate feelings, and feelings activate consciousness vibrations, where you live, how you live. And, the lack and survival is the lowest energy, where life is a constant turmoil and a challenge with a lack of purpose and direction for the most part. And we are currently in the dedication consciousness, where now if you've lifted yourself out of the lack and survival consciousness, you are now in the dedication consciousness and learning how to control all thoughts, images, and feelings. By the time you leave the dedication consciousness, you will have mastered how to control, manage, and focus your thoughts, images, and feelings, and align them with your physical manifestations, your physical efforts, so that you will not only be able to align it through the consciousness of your thought, but be physically able to be motivated enough to pursue them in your physical reality. Okay, so the dedication consciousness vibrates again in moderate energies. It is where mastery over thoughts, images, and feelings must take place. It must take place, because if you cannot control thoughts, images, and feelings, you cannot create. You're limited as to how you can create it and the speed of which you can create, because the universe will not be fooled and knows exactly where you are vibrating. Okay, and the vibration is your mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual vibration on all those consciousness levels is your one overall vibration. The cumulative of each one of those totals is your overall vibrational signature, and that is how the universe sees you. That is how it reads your vibration. This is how it knows if you are in the dedication stage and the lack and survival and the absorption, or the higher stages of connection consciousness. This is how it knows how much power you can tap into and how much you can use by your personal vibrational frequency. Okay, so if you are in the dedication consciousness, take the assessments in the book. And you will be able to find out. And I'm actually going to briefly review all of the aspects of the mental, emotional, physical, sensory, and spiritual consciousness as it pertains to dedication consciousness right here in this segment. So The dedication consciousness, as I mentioned, has complete control over mental, and emotional consciousness fields, and also the feelings that the person has, which affect physical aspirations. And how is this done? Well, this is done by framing. It is called framing for manifestation. And framing for manifestation requires harmonious energy alignments of thoughts, images, and feelings. Because you see, alone, the logical mind, which is singular, can process understanding. But it cannot manifest desires without the other perceptual lenses of inner emotions that spark feelings. Every moment that people live, they frame their experiences through thoughts, images in their minds, and feelings. Thus, manifest exactly what shows up in their life, because these experiences will match the frequency of the mental and emotional vibration of the person. So, in other words, what is in your mind will be, you are living what is in your mind. You are living that reality. You are living that reality. So, in order to change your reality, you have to change how you frame thoughts, because they have an effect on your images and feelings. Because thought is an energy system. It's an energy system with a point of attraction. What you place your attention in, that is what is going to manifest. That is how energy works. That is the signal, the vibration you're putting out. This is where your thoughts are. This is the images that you are putting in your mind. And now those images and thoughts have aligned with the feeling behind it. So that is exactly what's coming into your world. You are the creator of your challenges. So this is why you need to use that same energy to pull yourself out of lower energies and bring yourself into a higher energies. And you do that by framing thoughts, because whatever you think about expands and draws those energy qualities to you. So framing any discordant thought and reframing it positively will activate optimistic feelings, which immediately raise vibrations, because that's what they do. Feelings activate vibrations, your consciousness. An alignment with a higher mental vibration significantly increases the ability, to create desires. So always be positive, so that your mental faculties are always working in harmonious manners. Any negative or discordant thoughts or any images in your mind that are of negative nature must be immediately eliminated or reframed. Be alert for thoughts that creep in by force of habit, through life conditioning. Oh, I always thought that way. Oh, nothing good ever happens to me. Be alert for those thoughts and reject them. Reject any idea that does not serve you or does not portray you in the best of light. Always be positive, so that your mental faculties are always working in harmonious energies. It is only then that your vibrational frequencies can increase. Okay, when you are working with higher, more harmonious energies. So any negative and discordant thoughts or images in your mind must be immediately eliminated, or reframed. Be alert, for other other things that you don't expect, that you are unguarded, and ensure that you just you just put them out of your mind. Because framing thoughts for manifestation is just conditioning yourself. So if you condition yourself not to think these things, it's perfectly okay to refuse to think certain thoughts. It's perfectly okay to refuse to feel certain feelings. Okay? So train yourself to be mentally aware, of the caliber of your thoughts and the images that you are putting in your mind. Because training yourself to do that is like your guidance system, and it's going to, propel you to a higher energies. And really and not only higher energies, but quicker manifestations of your needs, of whatever you were desiring. Louise Hay, in her book, I think it was 1994, I think it was called 101 Power of Thoughts, it informed us that the thoughts that we think and the words that we speak are constantly shaping our world and our experiences. Many of us are in an old habit of negative thinking and do not realize the damage that we have inflicted upon ourselves by this constant negative pattern of thinking. You know, the most severe damage occurs from negative patterns of thinking because people are imprisoned in these low vibrations. We are never stuck anywhere because we always have the power to change our thinking. And when we change our thinking to a higher vibration, we attract the higher energy to come to us. And when we attract the higher energy to come to us, great things happen. Okay, great things happen. So we are never stuck. In order to change your thoughts, images, and feelings, just reframe the negative into positive, because that significantly increases your vibrational frequency. Positive, uplifting thoughts calibrate much higher. Any lower thought forms that linger, that are of negative nature, lower your mental frequency, which lowers your overall frequency, which lowers your effectiveness in terms of creation or eliminating discord in your life. So reframing, thoughts and not coming from a judgmental or a deliberate negative perceptions of yourself or others is essential, because like only attracts like. So a low thought form in any energy that distorts meaning and holds limiting beliefs is going to draw that energy to you. It's going to lower your energy, and it's going to limit you, and it's going to limit your beliefs and limit your power to create. So it must be done. If you don't, then you will attract like energy, and you will be pulled into the low energy fields and live in the lack and survival energies all your life in this embodiment. Because to achieve high mental energy, you have to practice harmonious thinking, and you have to master how to control thoughts, images, and feelings right here in the dedication consciousness, so that you can move into the next field of absorption consciousness. Reframing thoughts to raise frequencies entails viewing everything from a positive perspective. Sometimes with sudden appearances of intense lower energies, that are framed as challenges, can be difficult, but you have to remember that every challenge is just an opportunity. Every challenge is an opportunity to use your power, to get your thoughts, images, and feelings under control from a higher perspective, so that only good can come of any situation. So reframe your thoughts for the positive. Because just as Dr. Dyer said, change, I believe it was in his book, Change Your Life, Change Your Thoughts, that, when you look at something, and if you change the way that you look at something, what you look at changes, because you are now looking at it from a different vibrational perspective. So you have the power to change your whole life, and you are never stuck. Never stuck. Staying in a higher vibration also requires a kinder and gentler approach. Sometimes you have to take the high road, even when you feel that it's not in your best interest, because that's how you navigate the internal and external energies of life's challenges. Okay, you're coming at it from a higher perspective, from a more logical, from a higher viewpoint. And you're framing those discordant thoughts from a higher consciousness that will give you the answers that you were looking for. Because a higher consciousness always triggers the correct response and expands the consciousness to produce, solutions that you never thought or dreamt possible before. Because that's what happens when you are aligning the thoughts, images, and feelings. You move into a higher consciousness, and the higher consciousness expands your consciousness. Thus, now you have more power to tap into solutions you've never had before. Ideas come out of nowhere. They just manifest. Solutions to problems you've never dreamt possible just manifest for you. Like lightning, they come, and problems are solved. Because you are working in a dedication consciousness, and you have now learned to control thoughts, images, and feelings, thus by expanding your consciousness fields and having more power, more power. So it's so important that in this particular area, that you always reframe negative or discordant thoughts into positive. And by the way, always be cognizant of thoughts and images in your mind like what I call hitchhiking thoughts, because hitchhiking thoughts will lower your vibration. Hitchhiking thoughts are thoughts that lower frequency because they are filled with imaginary calamities that will never happen. A famous quote, it's by Anonymous, it was quoted by Mark Twain and Winston Churchill, among many others, that perfectly summarizes hitchhiking thoughts. And it goes, "My life has been filled with terrible misfortunes, and most of which have never happened. Old hurts, disappointments, and the like, in various scenarios, reliving mistakes, only bring those qualities to you. Thoughts of sadness, depression, anxiety, illness, if they're not reframed, will continue to generate that energy and bring that to you. Those calamities, those hitchhiking thoughts that will never occur, that you think will never occur, now may, because now you are putting that energy out there. Now you are drawing that energy of that lower frequency, and you're drawing it to you. So if you frame your thoughts in a way that only good can come to you, then you will continuously live in a higher vibration, and all discord that appears must be good somehow, for only good can come to you if you are vibrating in a higher vibration. Thus, use every opportunity to frame incoming information appropriately, not as bad or negative, but as information that needs to be handled, as energy in your life that came into your life, that now in the dedication consciousness, because you know how to control your thoughts, emotions, images, and feelings, okay, you can rise up and handle that energy appropriately. Because if it showed up, that means there was something in there for you, and you can creatively redirect it and transmute it into positive so that it can serve you. Because if you do not, it will remain in the lower frequencies. So you do have to reframe your thought forms, because the thought forms also reframe images and will align them with, your physical vibrations. In the dedication consciousness, when you are aligning thoughts, images, and feelings, you're also aligning, your sensory and physical perceptions. Information received from the senses, such as smell, touch, seeing, and hearing, elicited through thoughts, begins to have much more richness, because there's not a lot of anxiety in your life, because you are learning to control the mental and emotional aspects. That's allowing you to express yourself physically and spiritually in a much stronger way, especially with feelings. Because, you can use images to de-stress from any discordant feelings by choosing not to think of that discord, or not see the image of that discord in your mind. You can refuse to think certain thoughts and certain images, and you can also, choose to not to feel certain things, because feelings are the great determiner of human beings' vibrational frequency because of the intensity, feelings that human beings attach to experiences drive meaning of energies. And that is why they very often determine the vibrational frequency and the emotional life of the person. Because emotions have significant influence on cognitive processes of human beings, on thoughts, on perceptions, and they are so necessary to create. So you have to frame your thoughts from a positive perspective, because emotions originate in the brain. And feelings are triggered through the brain. And, and once those intense feelings come about, they can quickly manifest things that you want just as easily as things that you don't want, depending on where you are in the energies. You have to guard your emotions, because you will create things that you don't want in your life if you are vibrating in low frequencies. If you don't get a control over the dedication, consciousness, mental and emotional aspects. Okay? Feeling activity of life is the most unguarded point of human consciousness. King said that it is the atomic energy by which thoughts are propelled into atomic substance, and thus do thoughts become things. things become things that are in the consciousness in physical realities because they were propelled by feeling. And it became substance. So thoughts became things when they're unleashed through feelings, and that's how they appear in our physical world, in our physical reality. So not only framing feelings, thoughts and images is integral, but also framing feelings correctly. And again, if you get the book, and I hope you already do, www.lepeducation.com, Only Good Comes to Me, and you will get step-by-step process on how to work with these dedication energies, how to work with thoughts, images, and feelings, how to operate with those energies so that you can fully control them and be able to manage and focus and direct them to where you want them to go, so you can start manifesting things in your life, as soon as possible. So, human beings are, they're part of an emotional body, and personal feelings must be controlled. Emotions often ignite various feelings automatically. There's discipline control. When framing emotional energies must be exercised. Control of personal feelings in every situation raises the energy, and the situation becomes clearer. It's easier to control and manage. Controlled feelings are achieved through framing and reframing. Framing appropriately, and if the discordant energy keeps up the appearances, reframing the incoming information without overreaction. Reframe every negative feeling, thought, and images within you, and refuse to accept any thought, image, or feeling that's discordant within you from this point on. Rejection of negative lower energies will result in a much better life experience and an opportunity to vibrate high and feel good permanently. So use your new control of thoughts, images, and feelings within the dedication consciousness, because the conscious application and control of these emotions in the dedication consciousness is what's going to propel you to the very next absorption consciousness, where you can fully create. Human beings are very emotional beings, and through lived experiences, they are constantly creating new feelings that must be reframed, and new thoughts and new images. This is particularly true of people who are grown adults but still emotionally immature and have trouble controlling their feelings. So if you are in that category and you find yourself vibrating in a dedication consciousness, take the assessments in the book and find out if you are in fact vibrating in the dedication consciousness, and then take the appropriate steps to move yourself out of this energy into the higher absorption consciousness energies. Because as King said, when it came to maintaining and increasing vibrational frequencies, I tell you, the need of guarding the feeling cannot be emphasized too strongly. For control of the emotion plays the most important part in anything in life. Because once feelings support the thoughts and images in your mind, your manifestations are bound to occur. And they are going to occur whether you want them to or not. So if you are in a low vibrational frequency, they're coming. This is why life is constantly being a challenge for people who are in low vibrational frequencies on every level, mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual. It's a challenge because they're constantly in that low vibration and can't seem to get out. So, it's so important. Especially, to ensure that not only are you strong in the physical and the thoughts, images, and feelings, but that you look at the physical sensory frequencies in the dedication consciousness as well. And by that, I mean physical sensory consciousness are moderate energies, but they also interpret your sensory systems around you. So if you are not experiencing life through your senses of taste, smell, touch, hearing, then in the dedication consciousness, that's also another area in the physical sensory frequencies in the dedication consciousness that you must pay greater attention to. Because with each forward movement in the sensory consciousness is how you're interpreting the information that's coming to you through your senses, through your vision, through what you're hearing, through what you're tasting, what you're feeling, and how you're taking care of your body. All of those things, just as you are controlling your thoughts, images, and feelings, your physical body and how you're taking care of the body must also be a part of that. So you must think high thoughts of your body. You must not find fault and be judgmental or critical of your body. But you must align your thoughts with a higher perception of thinking wonderful things about you and your body and your senses, and seeing everything through fresh eyes and hearing everything from fresh eyes. Touch can become sensual and meaningful. New smells can fill the nostrils in ways that you've never, ever smelled before. The senses are processed in a uniquely and potent and alive manner, thus affecting you in every way once you get a control in the dedication consciousness of your thoughts, images, and feelings. Because you will see life in a more colorful and richer experience. You will value your physical body more and what it does for you. You're going to see beauty in yourself and others. And not only that, but you in the dedication consciousness is really where you begin to appear more relaxed and generally healthier and happier. And the spiritual frequency within the dedication consciousness also, gives great cause to be optimistic, because meaning is linked to a belief system that interprets energy and shapes who we are, and determines the vibrational level that we emit through our thoughts, images, and feelings, and through really our physical behavior. Very often is what we think about ourselves under the spiritual frequency of our belief in ourselves and belief in the higher power and belief in spirit, and the support that we get from that spirit. So when you are uniting with higher energies of thoughts, feelings, and images, and also your physical body and your sensory experiences, you also want to include your spirit and your personal belief in that. Because it's all tied into your spirituality. And you want to dedicate yourself, your spirit, to think from a higher perspective. You want to dedicate your spirit to have a stronger connection with the source consciousness, to have a stronger connection with the energy, so that you can more easily, control your thoughts, images, and feelings, so you can control your physical reactions. And that's what you learn in the dedication consciousness. Full control of your thoughts, images, and feelings, and how to operate. How to now manage, direct them, and focus them so that you can manifest anything and everything that you want in life. And, manifest the future that you want for yourself. So the dedication consciousness, you truly are really at the start. Once you left the lack and survival fields, you can relax a little bit, because now you are truly beginning to work with the LEP Frequency Tool, and through all of the processes, through all of the preparations, and all of the means and the mechanisms that the LEP Frequency Tool offers, you will move right through the dedication frequency into the absorption and then connection frequency very, very quickly. So thank you so much for spending this time with me. This concludes the dedication consciousness segment to be added to your personal LEP frequency toolbox. Please ensure that you review this segment often. Understand that in the dedication consciousness, in order to move forward into the higher frequencies, you must have full control of your thoughts, images, and feelings. Because feelings will activate your physical efforts, and your physical activity, opportunity, motivation, inspiration. So absolutely look into the dedication consciousness. It is the second field. Congratulations if you had moved out of the lack and survival field and now moved into the dedication consciousness. Congratulations. I'm so thrilled for you. It's an exciting field. You are going to become so much stronger mentally and emotionally once you master the dedication field. So thank you again. I'm honored to have spent some time with you. And I hope to see you again at one of my seminars. Check out www.lepeducation.com for the latest seminar tour and information, or my YouTube channel. And I hope to see you at one of my seminars. And I hope to see you online or in the broadcasting world, either on YouTube and on the podcast show. I'm honored to have spent this time with you, and may only good come to you. Thank you, and stay blessed.